Welcome everybody, this is Poopinhammer, and we are playing, as the screen says, the Stanley Parable. I have not really seen much about this. I saw a little clip on what this game was on Game Grumps, and I figured I'd check it out. It's been sitting in my library waiting for me to finish Darksiders 2 for a while, so without further ado, let's get started. One game
This
crash
is the
later.
story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Okay.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
How puzzling.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay. I need to change the mouse sensitivity, because it is very low. Back, zoom game. Alright, much better.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yes, perhaps I have.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
So what I remember seeing is the narrator kind of knows where you're going and what you're doing. Oh, turn off stuff. That is not a mirror. 256, yeah, 30 away. Hit all the buttons on the keyboard. I guess this is the way to the meeting room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I don't know, I kind of favored the one on the right. I guess I'll do what I'm told. Okay. Weird.
Yet there was
meeting
not
room.
a single person here either.
Tips for not
Feeling
getting
a wave
fired.
of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
What do people want? Things, money, more money. Things, but with money to buy more things? Graphs. Graphs about things and money. This thing slides to sure everyone's okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley
I
walked
assume it's up.
upstairs to his boss's office.
Swanky. Where's Mrs. Perkins?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Mr.
Shocked,
Burns.
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
Did I come in
What
on a
he could
Saturday?
not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss
the
had been
keypad?
keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
2845.
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Keep it. Oh, haha. 2845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Ah, yes.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Stanley about to have an adventure. Nice insulation job. Big shiny red button. All right. Down the creepy elevator.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
Indeed,
it was
I do.
a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Yeah, what the hell was I
Did he
doing?
feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
This is odd. Now I feel like I'm in Dead Space.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Well, is this where I work? Do I turn on the mind control facility? Can I read that? Oh.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
Indeed.
Did he have the strength to find out?
Is this going to be a Matrix reboot? My guess is that pops up next. Push this button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building,
Yes.
Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Indeed. What about my freedom? What was that noise? Oh, that. It's 427. 427, right there. Nothing's happening. Yes, nothing happening in my room. Okay.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
Couldn't possibly
Had
be
Stanley
true.
really been under someone's control all this time?
I
was
don't
this the
believe
only
it.
reason he was happy with his boring job?
What
that
the
his
hell?
emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I'm about to find out, I hope.
No. He refused to believe it.
Gosh darn it.
He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
Well, even though
Wasn't
I'm
it?
following this track.
Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
You are telling me exactly where to go. I kind of feel like I'm
But here was the
losing freedom.
proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Sounds good to me. Turn this back on. All off. Facility power. Hit the 5 button. My controls idle, awaiting input. So where's the off button? Oh.
When at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation,
I
to
feel
put
obligated.
an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Off. Did I win?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Should have brought a flashlight.
Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet,
Is it?
even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Yes.
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
And where were all the
What other
vampires?
mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
Indeed.
No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
That was beautiful. Beat the game. Okay. So I've noticed that there's many achievements. Like you can do it multiple different ways. So this time
all of his co-workers were gone.
Let's do
what
it.
What did it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's go the right door. Let's figure out where that rabbit hole takes us.
When Stanley came to a set of two open
I went on the
doors,
right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Employee lounge. Find out what else is going on in here.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Great room. I love it. Still can't get a soda, huh? Okay.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room.
Yep.
A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
They are pretty
Really
nice. Look at this. Alright, I guess we'll continue on our journey.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
F that noise. It's tragedy.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay, well, at this time we're going to ignore everything he says. Do the exact opposite. Do not jump from the cargo lift while in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $8,000. Okay. Let's go over here.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? What?
No, I saw the other way.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
I don't know. 2B3. Talking about
now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope, I'm going the red door. F that noise.
Perhaps you misunderstood.
Nope.
Red walked through the red
blue door. Blue door.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red
blue door.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Yep. What's over here?
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map. Because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see.
Did.
Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far.
The ability to
Tell you
jump
what,
would have been cool.
Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Okay.
There we go. A third option.
Oh.
This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
All right, I'll take it for a spin.
Okay,
Oh.
I'm going to stop you there.
Rate your experience.
Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices?
Yes.
Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door?
Because I wasn't
Well,
doing anything you
it's
wanted me to do.
instinct mostly. A calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul.
Oh, yes, so.
You can't teach that, Stanley.
Nope, you
Don't
can't.
even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one.
All
Let's
right,
take a look.
let's go. Going over this way? Oh, oh. Textures.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated
What
to keep
competitive
walking through
leaderboard?
doors? Again,
No.
honest answers,
Going
please.
with this one.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect.
think
Let me boot it up.
He wants to murder me. I don't think he's happy with me not going along with his beautiful story.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice.
Okay.
But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours.
Oh, okay.
So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be
Sounds
sure
good.
to keep notes on your experience.
I'll be jotting things down. Oh, save the baby. Save the baby. Save the... Sorry, baby. This is called evolution.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
Spite, really.
Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
What's he gonna put me in? it is Minecraft.
Well, Stanley,
Awesome.
is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough?
I love
Tell me
Minecraft.
that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
Where'd he go? Oh,
This will
Mud
go
hut?
here, no, here, and then...
he's Let's Play Minecraft.
Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it.
Very sassy.
Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. But you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
Okay. Inside I
Isn't it
go.
grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if...
Comfy.
Wait,
It's roomy.
that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond.
Sounds good.
Diamond everything.
Diamond, let's go
yes,
get mining.
Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Okay. Where are we going mining? Oh, down here? Yep, sounds good.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
Nope, no lights.
Oh, no.
Light.
This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant.
Oh.
This won't do at all. 1 out of 5.
Black away.
Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
New game it is. Oh, is this Portal?
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass
Sweet.
box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Oh, sweet. I love Portal. We're gonna go. Let's hit the button. Get ourselves...
Oh,
There we go. Nope.
it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte. Genius.
There we go. It's like having another narrator for Portal. Oh,
No,
awesome.
actually, you know what? I think that's plenty.
Aww.
I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games, and I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience.
I've fallen out of the game. Work in progress. Am I escaping the game? Is this kind of like Portal? Is it going to set me on fire? Alpha test. Please rate your experience. It's very dark. Oh! I fell off the world. Oh. Now I'm in this place. Just tried to double tap like in Minecraft. I've lost the narrator. Now I'm scared. Oh, what's over here? Seems to be a light. Can't get in there. One light on. 427. Home sweet home. All the buttons. Did I break the game? Uh-oh. This can't be good. It all went black.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world.
Interesting.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
How deep?